In other words, his capacity for deduction is something that I've genuinely never encountered, ever. And that's why we're going halfway around the world. I booked a one-way flight to Australia. And I'm going to be taking you there with me as this year, 2023, comes to a close. The realization that I'm forced to stare into the somewhat disturbing depths of is that as a solo content creator, there's only so much value that I can give you. And since my modus operandi, my express objective for this channel is to maximize the value that I'm actually bestowing, that I'm actually conferring you with, I can't do it alone. Like, to my everlasting dismay, I wish I could do it alone. I wish I could be this Sigma male, this lone wolf that just does his own thing and doesn't need to bring anybody else into the picture. But the truth is that the anecdotes that I can give you, the background that I can give you, the value that I can offer you as someone who just struggled for the first 22 years of his life, there is value there. Because it's relatable. I talk about being shy, stifled, introverted, autistic.
Hey guys, today I'm here to talk to you about the Chick Hen and Chick Hen R2 and MHU Speed 3 enablers for the PSP.
Inflamed inside my head, low testosterone, unconfident, unable to approach attractive women, unable to even talk to strangers, just unable to just be me, to be authentic. There's value in that. But there's also value in just the raw knowledge, the information, just giving you the map for men, the same map that 22-year-old was given, the same map that my 15-year-old self would have torn down a fire hydrant to gain access to. I would have done anything for this information. And I'm going to be taking you halfway around the world so that you can be handed from the progenitor of said map for men himself that information, that map. See, I was just stumbling around the dark from age 15 to 22. The medical establishment, they gave me a map. They gave me the proton pump inhibitors, the inhaled corticosteroids. They thought they were helping me. They thought they were addressing my problem. They were addressing my symptoms, the pain, the dysphagia, the difficulty swallowing. I had a rare disease called eosinophilic esophagitis, but that's really a microcosm for life, right? Because if you just address those symptoms, what you're actually doing is diffusing the smoke. You're not actually putting out the fire. So actually what you are engaging, what you're accepting, what you're taking on in that point, at that point in time, is indeed the devil's bargain. It's the epitome of such, right? Because in a sense, those symptoms, and again, this is a microcosm for life, so maybe you don't have difficulty swallowing or food impactions like I did, but maybe you're in pain. Maybe you're shy, a little bit uptight, and it pains you to know that you're just not the person that you could be. The answer isn't drugs. The answer isn't alcohol. It's not pornography. It's not fapping. It's not distracting yourself. See, but that's the devil's bargain, is that you take the proton pump inhibitor, proverbially speaking. For me, I actually did. I took the thing, man. I took the Prilosec, I took the Flovent, I took the thing that was going to mask my symptom, but then that fire of inflammation that underpinned such, that actually gave rise to those symptoms, it never went away. It never went away. But since I was comfortable, my symptoms were mitigated, were diffused. That diffusion is a distraction. When you diffuse the pain, you actually distract yourself from it. So you're never actually encouraged. You lose all incentive, you lose the motivation to actually address that problem at its core fundamental level. And when I was rejected from a girl that I was just head over heels in love with at age 22,
if I cannot be the one to make you happy, just knowing that others in your surroundings can accomplish this task is a good alternative.
I was forced to look into the depths of my own inadequacy, into the abyss of said inadequacies. I didn't like what I saw, but I was willing to stare myself down, to look at myself in the mirror and say, when are you going to get serious about your life? When are you going to get serious about your life? I was tired of being in pain, being rejected, having an inflamed esophagus, being unable to eat food in mixed company because the prospect of food becoming impacted in my esophagus was so unbelievably anxiety-provoking. I was ready to address my life at the core fundamental level. And that's what we're going to be doing on this channel. We're going to be addressing your life, your problems, the evolution of your masculinity at the most fundamental level, so that when you actually address that, your life is going to be ridiculous. I don't think you realize how good it's going to get. I mean, you're going to get to the point where you feel like you're walking on air. Like your life it's just going to feel so good to actually be you. You're going to be happy to actually wake up and be able to navigate life in the body that you have. You're going to have optimal testosterone levels. You're going to be bulletproofed, inoculated against the most insidious of chronic, devastating disease. Heart disease, not the least of which. Every 33 seconds in the United States alone, somebody is dropping dead of it. And I'm going halfway around the world to bring on my mentor and now my closest friend, Luke, who is going to be giving you direct insight to how to bulletproof yourself from that, from cardiovascular disease, from diabetes, dementia, macular degeneration, the list goes on and on. I've been very fortunate, very fortunate to have this man, Luke, in my proverbial back pocket over the past 8 years, directly mentoring me, offering me insight into life, into masculinity, hormone optimization, disease prevention. And what I've realized is that my anecdotes only go so far. So as a solo content creator, I can only offer so much value. But now I'm going to be bringing on the progenitor of the map, the same man that handed me the map when I was 22 years old. And that's the map that I used to find my freedom, to reinvent myself at the most fundamental cellular level. Probably heard me talk about the importance of saturated fat before and minimizing polyunsaturated fat. But this is the man who actually inspired me to do that. And I've never seen someone operate at his level of intelligence in this space, in the health and fitness space. I mean, anything anatomically that you'd want to know in terms of bodybuilding, in terms of fitness, building an aesthetic physique, anything that you'd want to know in terms of fitness, endocrinology. It's like he's gone so deep down the rabbit hole, and such a pleasure, such an honor, a true joy to bring this treasure to you. This man is truly a diamond in the rough, and the value that he's going to be giving you, it's unparalleled. And at this point in my life, I feel that the greatest good that I could do, my purpose, is to just give this man a microphone. Why don't we just shut up? Why don't I just shut up and come out with you into the crowd, into the audience, and let's invite Luke to an encore. Let's just give him this majestic mic, and my job is just to promote that, to give you buy-in, to realize just how incredible this man is. And trust me, I've seen them all. I've seen all of the content creators in this space. You can name them, and I've watched hours of their content. I've read their books. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. But this man is a unique progenitor of information. So recently, it's been coming to fruition, for example. It's just one of myriad examples. Most of the other examples I couldn't even give because there's no reference point. Some of the knowledge that this man has, no one is talking about, so it's not even, there's no active comparator. But like seed oils, for example, it's coming to light that vegetable oils, these highly inflammatory omega-6, predominantly polyunsaturated fats, are highly oxidizable and insidious for human health. Just to give you one example, like this man actually independently elucidated that 24 years ago when he was 12 years old. Like that's just to give you one example of the level of intellect that we're talking about. In other words, his capacity for deduction is something that I've genuinely never encountered, ever. And that's why we're going halfway around the world on this channel. And I'm so excited for what 2024 has to bring and where we're going to go together. Because I love you, I appreciate you. And if you're excited to, drop a comment down below. Let me know how Jason and Luke can assist you and help you find your freedom. I love you, I appreciate you. And until next time, my friend, find your freedom. Peace.